Hi, Teal Ring here from Professionals Insight Realty. I've had a bit of a strange one this week that I'd like to share with everyone. Unfortunately, we're having a lot of tenants breaking their lease. Currently, we have 8 properties that the tenants have broken their lease. Usually it's 1, maybe 2, so 8 is quite high for us. I was talking to another real estate agent the other day, and she was telling me that she's having a lot of break leases as well. Now, the tenant is locked in to pay the rent until we find a new tenant. That's the law. There's also another section of the Act that says that we need to mitigate the tenant's loss. This means we need to do everything in our power to find another tenant for the property to take over this tenant's lease. Unfortunately, 6 months ago, we had a really good market and we were renting properties for market value, but the market has changed. Currently, if your property was renting for $450 6 months ago, unfortunately we may only be able to get $400 for the property now. We are enforcing the tenant to keep paying the $450. Now, in the eyes of the law, we're not following the legislation. As I mentioned previously, I was talking to another agent just this week. She was explaining to me that the tenant who had broken their lease had taken them to court, and the magistrate had ruled that the agency or the owner of the property actually had to pay the tenant back the amount of money that that tenant had paid in rent in that period of when they had broken the lease. The reason for this was because the property wasn't advertised at market value. Now, out of the 8 properties that we have that have broken the lease, there's probably 6 that unfortunately aren't advertised at market value. It's not fair that the landlord does have to take this cut in price, but at the same time, we always have to rent the properties for market value, and it's also not fair that the tenant is paying a higher price for a property than what the property is currently worth. I've been able to contact a number of our landlords regarding this. I will continue contacting everyone next week to discuss this further, but please have a think about this over the weekend. I just need you to understand the risk that's involved and what possibly could happen if the tenant did end up taking us to QCAT, which is the court system. Apart from that, I hope everyone has a really great weekend and you'll be hearing from me next week. Bye.